Something unusual happened at Brown's training camp, something no one expected. A moment that could quietly change the entire course of the season unfolded in training camp without official announcements, press releases, or headlines. However, what happened could change the face of this team when the lights come on in September. It wasn't about experience or reputation. It was about performance, balance, and timing. But don't worry, I'll tell you everything. But to do so, hit the like button and comment below, Dawg Pound. That way I'll know you're a true fan. Now, let's get to it. It was a Monday that shifted the narrative in Berea, Ohio. Not because of a major announcement, not because of a surprise signing, but because of a perfect performance. As pads went on for the first time at Cleveland Browns training camp, the team saw the emergence of a potential future star at quarterback, Shedeur Sanders. And what makes this day all the more compelling? It came on the heels of Kenny Pickett's injury, a crack in the QB rotation that may have opened the door to something much bigger than expected. Let's paint the picture. The Browns entered day 5 of training camp with a buzz, not only because pads were finally on, but because there was uncertainty looming over the quarterback depth chart. Kenny Pickett, who had been a part of the rotation, suffered a hamstring injury 2 days prior and was declared day-to-day by head coach Kevin Stefanski. In his absence, Joe Flacco was given the bulk of first-team reps. However, all eyes were soon drawn to the youngest man on the field, Shedeur Sanders. While Flacco took early reps, handing off to backs like Dylan Sampson and Pierre Strong Jr., and connecting briefly with WR Cedric Tillman, Sanders' time came with a point to prove. What followed was nothing short of spectacular. Sanders won a perfect 9-for-9 in team drills, throwing 2 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. But it wasn't just the numbers. It was the timing. It was the control. It was the confidence. His first touchdown was a beautiful deep ball to W.R. Gage Larvadain, a connection that cut through the Browns' defense like a hot knife through butter. And as practice wound down, Sanders added another exclamation point, another deep throw, this time to T. Sal Cannella in the end zone. All with the third team, but none of it looking third tier. He wasn't just efficient, he was electric. To put this in perspective, Sanders is the only quarterback during this padded practice who threw a touchdown. Meanwhile, Flacco, despite his experience, didn't find the end zone. Dylan Gabriel showed flashes, connecting with receivers like Jerry Jeudy and Deontay Johnson, but couldn't match Sanders' poise and precision. And with Pickett sidelined, the window is cracked open, if not swinging wide. So who exactly is Shedeur Sanders in this Browns QB puzzle? He's the rookie from Colorado who entered training camp slow, still adapting to the NFL rhythm. But now, just 5 days in, he's showing maturity well beyond his years. According to ESPN Cleveland, Sanders is currently 29 of 40 in camp drills with 5 touchdowns and no interceptions. Let's repeat that, 5 touchdowns. 0 picks. That's not just efficiency, it's a statement. Coach Stefanski hasn't tipped his hand on the depth chart. There's no announcement of a starter yet. But the Browns' preseason opener against the Carolina Panthers on August 8th is fast approaching, and that's where things could get real. Game speed. Real pressure. A clearer view of the pecking order. And make no mistake, Shedeur Sanders is making this decision harder. He's not supposed to be competing with Flacco and Pickett this soon. But through hard work, attention to detail, and on-field results, he's inserting himself into that conversation. There are still plenty of practices to come, including a joint session with the defending Super Bowl champions, the Philadelphia Eagles. But what Sanders is showing isn't a fluke, it's a pattern. That's not to say this is a fairy tale. NFL quarterback battles are brutal, especially for rookies. Sanders still hasn't taken first-team reps, the coaching staff is managing expectations. Yet, the deeper truth here is that his performance is forcing those expectations to change. Now, let's talk about the larger offensive picture. Jerry Jeudy, after a career year with 90 catches and 1,229 yards, continues to dominate. He's become the gold standard at wideout during camp. Teammates like Grant Delpit jokingly challenge themselves just to try and lock Jeudy up in drills. He's not just putting on a show for fans, he's inspiring internal competition, elevating standards across the roster. And this isn't lost on Stefanski, who sees Jeudy as a vital piece, not just in talent but in leadership, even if Jeudy leads more by action than words. Jeudy, who arrived in Cleveland after a trade from Denver and quickly signed a 3-year extension, doesn't need the spotlight. He's already had his breakout. But what's impressive is his mindset. "I just want to be better than I was last year," he said. It's a mentality that resonates through the entire receivers room, especially with young names like Cedric Tillman and Jamari Thrash learning by example. Pair that with a strong showing from other weapons like Deontay Johnson, Caden Davis, and even undrafted guys like Larvadain, and the Browns' offensive arsenal is starting to look dangerous, provided the quarterback under center can maximize it. That's why Sanders' emergence is so significant. It's not just about a good day. It's about giving this offense the best chance to thrive. Whether it's his chemistry with Larvadain or his ability to read defenses mid-play, Sanders is showing that he might be the one to elevate this group. But of course, the ultimate decision is still to come. Stefanski has been clear, he's watching. He's evaluating. He wants smart, physical football without reckless play. And with padded practices now underway, things will only get more intense from here. What do you think, Browns fans? Is Shedeur Sanders the real deal, or is this just a camp flash? Should he get first-team reps in Pickett's absence, or does Joe Flacco's experience still carry the most weight? Let me know in the comments. And now, with tension in the air and preseason rapidly approaching, every snap, every rep, and every throw matters more than ever. As Shedeur Sanders continues his rise, the Browns' quarterback room enters one of the most intriguing internal competitions the franchise has seen in years. There's a very real possibility that Sanders could climb the depth chart even further if he continues to outperform expectations. While the coaching staff remains tight-lipped about pecking order, they've quietly let the reps do the talking. Flacco may be the steady veteran, and Pickett the presumed backup, but Sanders is the one making jaws drop at cross-country mortgage campus. And it's not just about arm strength or touchdowns. It's how Sanders commands the huddle, reads the defense, and executes under pressure. His connection with players like Gage Larvadain and Sal Cannella showcases not only trust but timing. It's chemistry that can't be faked and hard to ignore. Especially for a rookie. But every breakout story needs context, and Sanders' growth must be viewed alongside the performances of his fellow quarterbacks. Dillon Gabriel is quietly stacking solid reps, showing flashes with strong throws to Jerry Jeudy and Deontay Johnson. But consistency remains the key, and that's where Sanders is pulling ahead. 9 completions. 9 attempts. 0 misses. That level of precision, even with the third team, screams potential. Meanwhile, Joe Flacco, the presumed starter in Pickett's absence, hasn't yet delivered the kind of dominant camp outing that would slam the door shut. He's making veteran reads, sure, and managing the offense efficiently. But without touchdowns and padded drills, the opening remains for someone like Sanders to take advantage of. The Browns' offense is loaded with talent, from the explosive Jeudy to the reliable Deontay Johnson to emerging targets like Jamari Thrash. What it needs now is a quarterback who can not only distribute the ball but inspire belief. Someone who could turn practice sparks into regular season fireworks. That's the energy Sanders is bringing. His body language, his fire, and his relentless focus are giving the coaching staff plenty to think about. He may have started camp as the rookie on the fringe, but now, he's right in the thick of it. With the first preseason game against the Panthers on August 8th, the countdown has begun. Will Sanders continue to rise? Can he steal first-team reps? Could he be the surprise name under center when the regular season begins? One thing is certain, Browns fans should be watching every snap closely. Drop a like if you're hyped for this QB battle and believe in Shedeur Sanders' potential. Subscribe to the channel for all the latest updates straight from Browns camp, and let us know in the comments, should Sanders be given a real shot at the starting job? Let your voice be heard, Dawg Pound. Go Browns!